Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, something completely different. I am headed to a work trip in the Northwest Territories. I am headed to the north, and in fact, I'm going all the way to the Arctic. I'm only going to be there for a couple of days. But I thought it was a good opportunity to take my Plusino rod that I featured recently, shove it in my suitcase, and fly all the way up there and see if I can find some fish. So what I'm gonna do is, first I gotta get on a plane to Edmonton, I gotta lay over in Edmonton, and then I'm going to take off from there, and that's what you'll see next. Hopefully I'm able to catch some fish, or at least find a place that I can do some fishing. If I can't, I will film some sights around Inuvik, and this will turn into an episode of Adventuring Spiders. So let's see what happens. Alright you guys, it's an early morning here in Edmonton, about 5:30 a.m. Getting ready for the next leg of the journey, so let's get to it. Alright everybody, so as you can see, I am in Inuvik, Northwest Territories, and I'm a long ways from home. I am currently over 3,500 kilometers from home, which is I think close to 2,100 miles. But more than that, I am straight north of Calgary, which means I'm in the Arctic Circle. As a matter of fact, if you were to drive just 1 hour that way, you would be at the Arctic Ocean. That's pretty crazy. More significant than that is maybe something that most of you are not used to. This is the land of the midnight sun. And so I am currently filming this at midnight. That's right, I will prove it. It is 11:54 p.m. So, wondering what it looks like here at midnight? That's it. There's the sun. The sun never goes down at this time of year, and in fact, if I look up my weather app for Inuvik, I'm hoping this will show up, but right in the top left here, where it says sunset, you will see no sunset at this time of year. That's right, 24-hour sunlight. You could be out here 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, that sun's never going down. It is a crazy thing, and if you're not used to it, it's something else. In fact, there are people all over the place here. I'm actually having a tough time filming this because there's so much traffic. There's people out in the field playing soccer right now. And it's not even that strange, to be honest, to see kids out riding their bikes at this time of day. So it's pretty amazing. And that's just one of the cool things about being here at this time of year, is that you've got 24-hour sunlight. So what I'm going to do, in addition to showing you a little bit of fishing, is I just wanted to give you some of the sights of Inuvik. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'll show you a couple things that are pretty cool for those of you who probably will never get here. All right, everybody, so one of the more famous locations here in Inuvik is the Igloo Church. For those of you that don't know, Inuvik is situated in the Inuvialuit settlement region here in Canada. For those of you who know the north, the people who live here are called the Inuit, formerly in some places known as the Eskimo, but they're officially known as the Inuit, and the area they live in is the Inuvialuit settlement region. And so this church was built to look like an igloo. And it's relatively unique, and I have never seen a church that looks like that. And in fact, they've even got panels on the outside to make it look like it's snow blocks. So I'll give you guys a closer look at that. All right, everybody, so one of the other things you'll notice about a lot of the buildings here in Inuvik is that most of them are built on pilings. And here's some footage at the base of this building, and you'll see that all of the bases are elevated above the ground. The reason for that is because this far up north in the Arctic, a good chunk of the ground is permanently frozen, which is also known as permafrost. And so there's no foundations under the buildings. And in fact, there's an even cooler part of that. Because the ground has permafrost, they can't bury things like power lines and sewer lines, so they have to put them all above ground. So I'll show you some of that as well. And this is what it looks like. This is a utilidor, and basically this is how they connect the houses. And you can see, I'll show you here a close-up of how each of these branches off, and then there's a conduit that goes to each building. And so everything's above ground. All right, so I just wanted to share another cool building here in Inuvik, and that is the community greenhouse that you can see behind me. This is a former hockey rink that they weren't using anymore, and so as you can see, they replaced the roof with plexiglass, and because of the 24-hour sunlight here, they're able to go grow vegetables throughout the summer months. So pretty impressive, reusing an old building, and in this case harnessing the energy of the 24-hour sunlight to grow vegetables. Now, another piece here that you might be interested in, you might be wondering, well, isn't it cold here? It's actually pretty warm here in the Arctic in the summer. Temperatures today were around 17 degrees, and tomorrow's forecast is for 21 degrees, which is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So and it's still early. It will get in the 30 degrees here in the summertime, high 80s, low 90s Fahrenheit. So it is definitely hot here in the summer, and when you combine that with the amount of sunlight, they get perfect conditions for growing. So very cool use of a building. All right, everybody, that's going to close it out for a quick tour of the town. Now I'm going to take you guys out of town, where I'm going to go try to see if I can catch a fish. It's now closer to 1 o'clock in the morning. Still got a soccer game going on. Hard to believe, you know? You would think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, everybody, so this is just one of the areas here in Inuvik where I can get a vantage point on what is probably the most spectacular part of Inuvik, and that is that it sits alongside the Mackenzie Delta. For those of you that don't know, this is where the Mackenzie River ultimately flows, spreads out into a massive delta, and then empties into the Arctic Ocean. It is what you're seeing behind me, and I'll show you a bit more of that in a second. In addition to that, there's the Mackenzie Mountains in the distance, further behind that, although they're not massive mountains by any stretch. And you may not be able to see them, they're quite a ways away on the horizon there. But everything else that you're seeing out in front here is the Mackenzie River Delta. One of the things I was hoping to do while I was here was find a place to go fishing, and all along the delta, and you can maybe see one just off in the distance here, there are these small lakes that have formed as offshoots of the river, and some of them are still connected and some of them aren't. For the ones that are connected, I've ruled those out because the Mackenzie is running high right now. It's really muddy, and that backwater has flowed into a lot of these lakes, and so they're extremely muddy. And the ice is also just coming off because we're so far north that the ice isn't even off the lakes yet. So I just walked down to this one in the distance here, and just at this south end of the lake, there's actually ice all along the lake. Okay, everybody, so I am currently in the middle of nowhere. Really, oh my goodness, you guys. I got a fish. All right, you guys, I just had a bite. Are you kidding me? I just lost a fish in the Northwest Territories in a place that I didn't know anything about. Okay, let me continue with what I was saying. So, I was talking to one of the locals and went to those lakes, and one was frozen and one was flooded over and muddy. And so I just asked him, like, are there other places that have fish? And he said pretty much everywhere that's connected to a large lake. And so what I decided to do was look at a map of some of the lakes. And by the way, up here, there's very little access into some of these lakes. Most lakes you can't actually access unless you have a float plane. So you need to find a road that goes over them. So what I'm doing is I'm actually standing on a road that goes over this creek. There's the bridge. And this is a much larger lake to the south of me called Campbell Lake. And so I saw that this creek came out of the lake and this road crossed it. So I just had a hunch and I stopped here and I pulled over. And lo and behold, I had a bite. Now, unfortunately, I lost it, but at least there's fish in here. All right, you guys, I got one. Okay, I just got another one. Fighting good. Feels like a pretty good sized one. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Oh, nice fight. Oh, I want to see this one. I really want to see this one. I do not want it to get off before I get to see it. You guys, this is not a pike. That's an Inconnu. This is a new species for me, and it's huge. Oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever, and it's massive. Oh, my rod, I just busted my Plusino rod. That sucks. Fishing is over. This thing is huge. It's massive. Oh man, look at that. Look at that fish. I have no idea what I'm doing. This thing is massive. Look at that fish. Oh my goodness. Oh man. New species, monster, PB. Oh, no net because I'm in the middle of nowhere. Busted my rod. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right, you guys. Brought the Plusino rod to the Northwest Territories. Busted my rod. But look at this beast. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! All right, I think she's ready to go. Took her a while to revive there, but I think she's starting to kick. All right, you guys, that was crazy exciting. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show you guys the release on that fish. I held it here for a long time. It was kicking, but it just wasn't ready to take off. I filmed it for quite a while, and I don't know, I sat here for probably 5 minutes. Eventually I released the fish. Now I gotta be honest, I have no idea if it's gonna make it. It is out there, it's gone. But you know, it was pretty slow going, so I hope it's okay. Oh, man, I really hope it's okay, because catching your first fish like that, your first ever of a new species, and it's a tank like that, over 12 pounds, 12.2 pounds. Unfortunate that I broke my rod. The rod breaking was my fault. I want to be clear with everybody, not Plusino. So I'll order a new rod. I won't have to get the reel, but I'll order a new rod so I can replace that. But the Plusino worked great, landed the fish just fine, and got me an exciting moment. All right, you guys, so I decided to come out one more time, fishing with my broken rod, and doesn't have an end on it, as you can see, but I did tie into one. It's a pike. I don't have my GoPro, so filming this footage with my
you want a picture?
iPhone. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just doing a video here.
Gotcha.
How's it going?
Good, you?
Good. There you are, buddy. Okay, that's going to do it from here in beautiful Inuvik, Northwest Territories. I hope you guys liked those couple of fish. I hope you liked some of the views around Inuvik, for those of you that'll never get to be here. And really appreciate you guys joining us. As always, to all of you, our new subscribers and our old ones, we really appreciate your support. And so, if you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, good fishing.